I'm Claire and this is my channel Stitch On Sew. Thank you so much for joining me today for another video. Now today's video is a Friday Sews video, so I'm here to talk to you all about what I've been up to in terms of sewing. So it's been a few weeks since I last posted a video, so my apologies for that. My reason is pretty much the same as last time, that work has been a bit crazy and that has taken up an awful lot of my time. I haven't had as much time for sewing. However, I have still got a good few things to show you, because whilst I haven't been sewing as much, I also haven't filmed for probably about a month. So I've definitely got some things to share with you, so do stick around with me. Before I get started, I'll mention what I'm wearing. I always forget to do this. This is the Closet Core Charlie Caftan, and it's made in this gorgeous sort of fabric, ditzy fabric that's got strawberries on as well. I love it. It's perfect for this time of year, perfect for today because it is boiling and this is nice and floaty, but you can also sort of cinch it in at the waist as well, so it gives you a bit of shape. So that's what I'm wearing, and it links very nicely into the fact that I've got something else to talk to you about in relation to a closet core pattern and my collaboration that I did with the lovely Rachael from the French Seams, and I will talk to you about that a little bit later on in the video. So first of all, I thought I would talk to you about my Friday Pattern Company Ilford jacket. Now, I think in my last video I showed you the toile that I had made. Now, it started out as just a sort of toile. I wasn't expecting to finish it. I was just going to do it as like a fit muslin, but as I was making it, actually it was turning out quite nicely, and I thought, well, I might as well finish it. So this was the jacket that I made. It's just from a very inexpensive poly cotton in this sort of camo print, which isn't normally my style, but actually as I was making it I thought I quite like this, a little bit different for me, and so I did end up finishing it off with just these very plain blue buttons. It's got this sort of slanty pocket here. Hopefully you can just about see that. It's quite difficult, it's camouflage. And so yeah, this turned into what was just going to be a toile, turned into a wearable toile. Now, the reason I wanted to do a toile was that I knew that the fit on this comes up very generous. I actually sized down 2 sizes, and I was very happy with the adjustments that I made, and I ended up with my finish garment, which is this gorgeous fabric from Eliza Mac fabric. It's a needle cord fabric. I've done poppers rather than buttons because I thought that worked quite well. I've added a little hanging loop, which is an addition to the pattern, and a little Me Made label. This has come together really nicely. I have done exactly the same adjustments, other than the fact I think I extended the arms by about 1 centimetre. That's the only other adjustment I made to my last garment. So if you want to see the adjustments that I did for that, do look at my last video, and it has come out really nicely. I am going to be doing a blog post for Libby at Eliza Mac Fabrics, so hopefully that should come out soon as well. I'm really pleased with this. This is a really great little just cover up. It will be brilliant, I think, particularly for as we're going into autumn because of those colours, but I would wear this at any time of year. It is lightweight because it's a very lightweight needle cord, and so perfect for an extra layer when it's a little bit chilly and you want a jacket but you don't want a big thick layer. So I'm really chuffed with that. Again, it has got the slanty little pockets on, which I'm pleased with, and yeah, overall a great make, and one that I think I'll get lots of wear out of. Now, I will have popped some images in, and I will have also popped a little bit of footage that I took of me in it as well, so hopefully you will agree that I think it's come out pretty good. I really like it. So I also made a couple of what I like to call crafty makes. Sorry about the jingling, but you'll understand why it's jingling in a second. A few weeks ago, the lovely Adam from Adam Sews put on a little purse that he had made from, which was a free pattern from so she can. And there's a sort of, on the website there is essentially like a blog post type thing to do the instructions, and there's also a download to the template that you can do. You're essentially having to cut out 2 outside, 2 inner of the fabric, some lining, some sort of fusible interfacing of some sort depending on how sturdy you want it to be, and a zip. Now I use continuous zipper tape because I love using that. I find it really easy, and so I've just gone with a black one. Now I've made this one for my youngest son because he'd been moaning for a while that he didn't have anything to put his little money in when he goes out, and I've just used exactly the same fabric on this one on the inside as I did to the outside. It's got a little black zip, and yeah, that comes together really nicely. It's a great little pattern. I'll obviously link it all below. And the only difference I did was on the inside, it gets you to kind of do this bottom bit by what does it get you to do? It suggests that you should attach the lining and the facing together to create the bottom bit. So on the inside you'd have some exposed seams. I didn't like that idea, so I basically did them separately. So I did the inside, the external bit first, and then I did it the internal fabric, left a gap, turned it through, just your classic kind of bagging it out type scenario, left the zip open so that you could turn it through. So that all worked quite nicely. It made it a little bit more fiddly, if I'm honest with you, but the finish to me is much better. So yeah, I have made a couple of these. This one I've still got, and another one I gifted with a little set of other things to a lovely friend of mine. So I didn't take photos, sorry, and I didn't I don't obviously have it to hand because it's already been gifted. Now on to my other make. Now I touched upon this earlier on. I have done a collaboration with the lovely Rachael from the French Scenes. This is our second collaboration that we've done. The first collaboration, funnily enough, was for this dress, which I hadn't actually put on purposely, but it all kind of tallies up rather nicely, doesn't it? I put it on because it's absolutely sweltering today and I wanted to be nice and cool. But the lovely Rachael and I have been talking about doing a collaboration for some time, and we chose to make another closet core pattern. Now it's only after we sort of decided on that we realised that actually, oh, we'd already made a closet core pattern together. So maybe there's a theme occurring. Maybe at some other point we'll do another collaboration and it'll be another closet core, I'm not sure. But we decided to make the closet core Elodie wrap dress. So obviously Rachael will be putting out her video hopefully on the same day as me, and she will be showing off her wonderful dress. Now I say wonderful, I'm sure it is, but I haven't seen it. I think I've seen a very sneak peek of the bodice, but definitely not the full dress and not it on. So I'm sure Rachael is going to look gorgeous. She's such a beautiful person inside and out, and so I know she's going to look gorgeous. So do check out her lovely creation as well. I'm sure you all know Rachael, and I'm sure you all watch her because she is gorgeous and beautiful, and she is just puts out so much sewing. The woman is a machine. She's amazing. She just manages to make so many things in a week. It just never ceases to amaze me. So yeah, if you haven't checked out her channel before, please do so. And if you've come over from Rachael's channel to mine, thank you so much, and I really hope you enjoy the video and that you'll consider subscribing as well. So let's talk about the dress. So there are two views of this dress. There is one with a kind of shorter sleeve and shorter skirt, and then one that is longer line and has got much longer drapier style sleeve. So it's like a grown on sleeve, so it almost has, oh, I don't know what the word is, quite a large on the on version 2 quite a large flowy sleeve. I've gone with version 1, I think it is, which is the short sleeve with the short length. Having said that, I added 3 inches to the length of the skirt because I knew that I wanted it to end just below the knee rather than just above the knee, and I am 5'8", and I think the pattern is drafted for 5'6". So I added 3 inches, hoping that it would be right, and it is just right. I'm really pleased with that. I made a 16 at the bust, grading to a 20 at the hips, waist and hips, because that's how my proportions work, particularly with this particular pattern. I was a little bit worried about that because I was sort of grading out into the kind of crossover detail. I couldn't, and so I basically graded out at all areas. So the front bit I added a little bit extra on, and then at the sides, and then I even graded a small section at the back just to give me just enough sort of room. I think it's worked quite nicely. I decided to go with version 1 because the fabric that I wanted to use is like a cotton seersucker fabric, so I knew it had more structure. I think version 2 would work beautifully with a more drapier fabric. Version 1, I think you could easily also make it in a drapier fabric, but I think it works well for your slightly less drapey fabrics, your cottons, your linens, that sort of thing. And I thought it was going to be a perfect dress for summer. Now it's going to be quite difficult to show you on the hanger, but this is my dress. So we've got the lovely crossover at the back. It's got this facing. Now I think it told you to turn that facing in and stitch it, not to the actual garment itself, but just sort of, but I've just left it so that you can see the overlocking. I'd used pink, so I think that looks quite nice. I've got a little label on there. Well, who's that from? Cozy Club Handmade. I bought a pack of these, and I also bought a pack of other labels, like a mixed pack of labels. I'd love to show you them, but I have misplaced the other pack of labels. But this pack says better than bought, and I thought the colours just went really lovely on that. So you've got this sort of crossover detail. It's then got a waistband, and then there is a tie belt to cinch it all in. So you have got on one side, there's a little hole that you create, and then your tie belt, one side goes through there, and then you kind of wrap it around both sides, and it all hangs down. And then obviously you've got the skirt on there. As I say, it is quite hard to show you on the hanger, but I will put some pictures and a little bit of clip in of me wearing it. I'm really pleased with it. I have to say, it wasn't the easiest garment to sew. That is nothing to do with the instructions or even the fabric type. That made it quite simple. What made it more difficult is the type of fabric that I chose in terms of the pattern on it. The fact that it was gingham, and I was trying my best to pattern match. In some sections that has gone really nicely. So if you look at the top of this, where the front meets the back, I've managed to pattern match that really nicely. But on this side, not so much. I think on my sides I did quite a good job, and even moving down into the skirt, it wasn't too bad. On the back center seam, I've done pretty good with that, until we get down to the bottom, where I had to just kind of add a little bit of, I was grading out slightly, so obviously that comes out, but even still I think that has worked quite nicely. And obviously I was trying my best to line up from the waistband into the skirt and into the bodice as well. So that was tricky. The cutting out took me far longer than I would have liked. If I'm honest with you, if you watch my channel regularly, you will know that the cutting out process is not my favourite part, and I certainly did not enjoy cutting this one out. I really didn't, but it was totally worth it because I really like my finished make. I think I was a little bit worried about the fit, and in fact I messaged Rachael saying at the end, sort of towards the end, saying I'd nearly finished, and I was a little bit unsure that the fit, how I like the fit, but actually putting it on again, I think I've done all right. I'm actually pretty happy with the fit, and so yeah, the fact that I didn't twirl this garment, I just went on my finished garment measurements, and obviously the body size measurements, and working out what sort of, whether I thought that it would work for me, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, if I'm honest with you. So let me know what you think. What other adjustments did I make? I don't think I made any other adjustments other than I graded from a 16 to a 20 in their, you know, their sizings, and I added 3 inches to the length. I don't think I made any other adjustments. The sleeves are just turned over and turned over again, as is the bottom, and you do the same on the front pieces of the skirt. You just turn over and turn over again. Yeah, so it's all come together really nicely. It's got this under the bust area, you've got like these little pleat details, which gives some really nice shaping. I've never done that on a garment before. And on the back, it's just got some little pleating details as well. Yeah, happy. So what else have I got to tell you? I have made a couple of purchases. As I say, I did buy some labels, but for the life of me, I cannot find them. I've also bought this Donkey Kong, just dropped the purse with the jingle jangle of coins in, this Donkey Kong fabric for my husband's birthday. So his birthday's come and gone now, but I gave him the fabric and I said, and I printed off a little note saying, I will make this into something that you'd like. I didn't know whether he would be into this as a shirt, whether it might be a little bit much for him, but he says not. What he said that he wanted once he saw the fabric was a shirt and trousers, and I was like, that is gonna look like pajamas. And he was like, well, no, it'll look like a coat. I was like, I seriously think it's gonna look like pajamas. And actually I don't think I've got, I only ordered 3 meters of this fabric, and it's quite narrow because it's more like a quilting fabric. Really, it'll be fine for a shirt because it's sort of thin enough, but I don't have enough fabric for the trousers, so I think we'll just go along with that. I've also got a little Donkey Kong patch because my idea was that I would possibly make him pajama bottoms, then make a t-shirt and add this to the t-shirt, but he just wants all in with the shirt with a Donkey Kong patch on. If that's what he's after, happy days. So yeah, that's my little make for him, and I got that fabric from Lovely Jubbly Fabrics, which I've never bought from before, but came really quickly, really pleased, and it was on a really good offer. I think it was like half price, which was way better than I could get it anywhere else, so I was really chuffed. Whilst I was there, I also ordered the buckthorn tote bag, which is a pattern by Noodlehead. Loads of people have made this bag. I love making bags, and I could do with a new bag for work because the bag that I've got unfortunately has got a little bit tired, and it could do with replacing. So yeah, take my laptop etc to work, so that's something else that I've bought. I also went to see my lovely friend Adam from Adam Sews the other day. We live about, I don't know, 15-minute drive, not even that, from each other. He did my hair. I'm sorry, Adam, it doesn't look quite as lovely as it did the other day. We had a good catch up because we hadn't seen each other for a good few months. And I managed to buy from him a few bits and bobs, some foam interfacing that he now sells for like bag making. I also picked up some standard like woven interfacing from him as well. And he very kindly, because I've been working on an EPP project, and I probably will be working on this EPP project for, I don't know, the next 5 to 10 years, no exaggeration. So I'm doing little hexies, putting them together, and they're all kind of teal based colours. And so I said to him, if he has got any kind of little bits of scrap fabric that he doesn't need in teal colours, could he let me have them? Well, of course, the lovely Adam does have, has always got lovely fabric. So he's given me a whole little loads of scrappy bits of fabric that I can use for EPP to help in that project. And he also very kindly gave me one of his thread conditioners. They come in a little pot, and you use it to help prevent your thread from tangling as you're sewing, and also some little buttons in a teal colour, which was very kind of him and very generous, and he's always so kind to me when I go and see him, and he makes me feel better about myself in terms of my appearance as well. So it's all good. It's always a lovely visit to see Adam. It's always great to catch up with him, and I also normally get a little sneak peek of what's coming up in terms of things that he's working on behind the scenes as well, which is also lovely. He's incredibly talented, but most of all, he's just such a genuine, lovely guy. So let's talk about what I am going to be making. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I spoke to you, well, actually it was more than a couple of weeks ago, whenever my last video came out, I spoke to you about a picnic blanket that I was working on. I still haven't got round to finishing that, but thank you to everybody that commented on my last video with little hints and tips. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. I think someone even gave me advice on a video that I could watch, so that was perfect. Thank you. And whilst I'm talking about sort of thank yous and things, just thank you to everybody that watches and comments and subscribes and gives me a thumbs up and all that lovely stuff. It really does help my channel. I don't really focus on the numbers that much, but it really is lovely when you see that number sort of creeping up and things. So just thank you so much for everyone that takes the time to watch and comment. That is brilliant. I love reading all your comments. It's just so nice. You are all so kind, so thank you so much. Now, in terms of other plans, I have cut out, and I went that way because it was sat there, but I cleared it off because it all looked a bit of a mess. I have cut out a Tilly and the Buttons Samara top in a lovely sort of bright pink viscose, a linen look viscose. So that's one of my plans. And I'm also hoping to sew up or at least cut out another skirt, a True Bias mauve skirt, and in like a floral fabric that has got little pink hints in. So I think those two will go really nicely together. And what else would I like to do? Well, that's probably it. That's actually going to happen. I've got loads of plans in my mind of things that I want to make, and I've been finding it totally frustrating that I haven't had the time to sew in recent months because there's so many things bubbling away up there. I've had to kind of try to curb myself from buying things because I don't have very much storage in terms of where to put my fabrics, etc. And I keep it on the shelf above me, and it is really very full. And so I need to work through a few things before I buy any more fabric. I'm not putting myself on a fabric ban because as soon as I do that, all I can think of is fabric. I'm just trying not to look, basically trying not to get drawn in. However, talking about fabric, my two lovely friends, Becki, who is What Beck Sews, and lovely Adele from Sew for Serenity, have recently set up a little sideline of a little fabric shop. They've started selling fabric at their two socials that they run in the areas in which they live, and then they've decided to also have a website that's called Fabric Obsession. So the next piece of fabric I buy is likely to be from them, but I am just holding off for now until I've made a few more things before I get sucked in, but I'm sure it will happen very soon. But do check them out. They've got some really gorgeous fabrics, and I think very reasonably priced, girls, so thank you very much. Anyway, I think I will round up for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you listening to my wafflings. I hope you guys are really well. Let me know what you think of the items that I have been making. If you have got any suggestions of things you think I would like to make, then do let me know. I love it when people give me suggestions. Every so often somebody will message me either on YouTube or on Instagram because they've seen something that they think that I would really like, and I so appreciate that. It is so lovely that people take the time to do that, and often it will either be stored as an idea for a little bit later on down the line, or I will get straight on it because I love a little suggestion. So thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video, it would be great if you give me a like. If you haven't subscribed, that would be great too. If you can hit that subscribe button, and then you'll get notified of when I bring out my next video, which hopefully will be much sooner than the gap between the last video and this one. So I hope you guys have, as I say, have enjoyed today's video, and I will say goodbye. Take care. Happy sewing. Bye bye.